was looking for positives, but I was struggling to find them. But Gambit are going to pick up Invoker into the TA, so GPK Invoker is going to be the call here against the Middle Templar Assassin. Isn't this a classically TA favored lineup?
Yeah, it definitely should be. But maybe I think it's probably going to be Quas Vex, and they probably feel like they don't need another carry or win condition in like Husker or whatever mid lane. They just need somebody to kind of create space and be annoying in the game for these cores like LC and Ursa TA. Like it's kind of hard to jump anyone except Invoker now because they have this Tornado EMP counter initiation. So the pick makes sense for sure, but I'm not sure about the matchup. But I think if you're really good Quas Vex, you can maybe annoy the TA a bit and get the stuff that you need to be effective.
Yeah, so control the game and control everything basically it's GPK's job right now. It's seems like an interesting pick, but it does make sense when you look at it from a game rather than just a vacuum perspective. You know, TA versus Invoker obviously not great. I've seen Invokers do very well against TAs though, especially when they use Tornado and Cold Snap in order just to kind of spam out these spells, control up the lane, make sure they get the range creep, you know, try and get some denies with some tornadoes. It could be very pretty, so excited to see what GPK does in this middle lane in order to bring it back in his favor, because clearly it's a matchup he's comfortable with, so I'm always excited to see GPK play though. I think this guy is like seriously good.
Oh, he definitely is. He's definitely like super talented. I was actually last TI qualifier before Matumba Man became an option from Liquid. We were thinking about asking GPK to come play, but his English is very limited, so it would be a bit awkward. I mean, he had a team as well, but you know, wouldn't hurt asking if
for sure.
he would speak English. So, I think he's super good. Gambit should be happy. They ended up snatching him.
Yeah, I think GPK and FNG is a very, very powerful duo in the CIS region. I'm actually surprised. You know, I kind of predicted that at the start of the season that Gambit would be one of the, you know, the new titans of CIS. You know, we saw Virtus Pro kind of falling apart, and I thought that Gambit would be able to step up to the mark, but they have struggled, and being in the minor qualifiers is certainly not where they plan to be. Na'Vi seems to be coming back with a pretty strong showing, so Gambit back to the position, you know, the third spot so far. I mean, they might not even get that. We're still on the first games of the minor qualifiers right now, so we don't know for sure where Gambit are going to stand.
Yeah, I mean, they're all pretty young guys, I believe. At least from watching them at ESL and stuff, they all look pretty young.
Yeah.
Like around 20, all of them, maybe even younger, right? So there's a lot of room for them to grow. That being said, though, it looks like Gambit is going to run Core Furion and support Doom, which is fine. I mean, it's more about what you actually prefer with your players. I don't feel like there is a particular reason why it's better here necessarily. Maybe they feel like there is one. Furion faster level 6, or Furion, like maybe they need to get some push going a bit earlier with the trees and stuff. But yeah, I mean, either way, it's gonna be fine for their top lane.
This will be the first time I've seen Doom being played in the 4 position this patch, I suppose. It seems to be much more common to be in the off lane, but they choose to switch it up. And I know Shashlo really likes playing, mind you, he likes playing Doom as well, so both would have been options.
I mean, Doom support, I think, has gotten quite a lot stronger. I mean, in general, the hero is just much stronger. He got buffed in every way, I feel. But the fact that you can devour a decent creep level 1, like you can eat this wolf right now. Last patch, that was nerfed as far as I know. Like you would not be able to eat anything except like the very small ones.
Yeah.
But now you have the option again of eating this. Like now you have a pack with just aura level 1. You know, it's 30% damage. That's bad news if you're Ursa right now, because your the Furion hits for +19 all of a sudden.
Yeah, he just crit the post crit. He just like lost a quarter of his health ball. That was painful. Goodness me. All right, well, gotta respect that. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, we have Invoker versus TA. Oh, did he get another one?
Yeah, he got another on the Ursa. But yeah, Invoker versus TA. Invoker struggling a little bit, but thing is, in this type of matchups, he's already expected to lose, right? So if you can get a little bit more, then like the pressure is kind of on Nyx. And if Invoker can be kind of annoying and a nuisance to the TA and play a bit unexpected, maybe TA gets a bit frustrated because he's supposed to win this matchup.
Yeah, very possibly. It's seeming if you can squeeze a mistake out of him, but very much GPK. I'm feeling like the interest is going to be in the other lanes for Gambit. They're kind of expecting GPK to take a step back and see what he can do for his team, rather than just being the hero they all play around like last game. And I like that. You know, Gambit just proven they can switch things up. This has been a criticism which has been drawn of, you know, other teams. For example, let's get tornadoed here. No, not Liquid. Alliance with Nico Baby. You know, one of the criticisms which is drawn of that team is that you always know pretty much that Nico Baby is going to be the win condition player. So Gambit, they're going to switch things up and put this Terrorblade in the driving seat. Dream is going to be the entire focus of this draft, and the Invoker is here to make space for that Terrorblade. We'll see if he can deliver. It's really strong for them if they can, especially coming forwards, looking into future matches and future qualifiers, not just in this tournament, but also in any other tournament they go to. Just knowing that there's multiple players who can carry a team, basically, is incredibly strong. So up on the top lane, they're putting a ton of pressure. Elmo might be in some trouble here. Actually, the right click's coming through. They're going to need a couple more. He's going to jump through the trees. Shashlo trying to chase CM with a slowdown, but the right click comes in. And with that extra damage, they will bring down the Ursa. What a close first blood there. As Ursa nearly gets himself away. It was a nice little jump over the trees, but unfortunately, not quite enough to escape the pain.
Oof, the Furin has threats already from that. He's so strong.
Yeah. Look at the right click damage coming out from him, but you just have to be careful. The slows are here from both Maposhka and Elmo, and they will start stepping up those Fury slots. The moment they turn around and start attacking someone else, mind you, Zample's getting very low here. Vampire might drop, but Elmo also dropping low, and they're both going to fall. Much better for Gambit. The 4 dies in return for the carry, who has no TP back to lane. He immediately buys a smoke to get himself back to the lane quicker.
Oh my god. That smoke. That reminds me of my pubs, man. That's my carry right there.
That's your carry.
Oh, that feels bad.
Oof.
Feels bad.
Off you go, Elmo. The walk of shame. You can't smoke away from our eyes. We see you making this shameful strut back into the top lane. Meanwhile, the mid, Nick's really doing a very good job versus GPK so far. 30-7 versus the Invoker, 16-2, nearly doubling up on CS.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think this game, like, looking at the other 2 lanes, like, LC is really happy, and so is TA. I feel like if this, like, the safe lane should not be losing this hard. Yes, it's a Furion, and yes, it's that he got this Paclius aura, but they need to realize that as it happens, and then they need to play accordingly, right? And play a bit more passively, and understand that, okay, we're definitely gonna lose this lane. Let's make sure that, you know, it's not this grim.
Yeah. And you can always say, you know, our TA is doing well. If they've asked, the Legion Commander is doing very well as well. She's having a great time down here in the bottom lane with Sayu. So you don't have to be trying to make crazy plays to turn this lane, for sure. And Elmo is once again getting jumped here as Vampire just chasing him down with the Scorched Earth, and Elmo has to get himself back. We'll salve up. Maposhka might be another target, but Gambit, they're just zoning them out so brutally right now. But Elmo, he's pretty convinced he wants to come back into his lane. The right click's coming through onto Shashlo. Maposhka, though, can he close the gap? Has to turn around and fight with Vampire instead. Elmo's still on the chase, and when it comes to 1v1s, it's not so bad for HellRaisers. Shashlo going for the TP out. I don't think he's going to make this. Oh, just about. The last hit of the overpower was not quite enough to bring down the Nature's Prophet. And the Prophet will survive. Again, I do worry about the mental state of HellRaisers right now, especially Elmo's. He's been beaten back to lane. Beaten back to the base twice, and now missing out on a kill very narrowly on Shashlo here. Got to make sure he's staying happy, this boy. Also, a lot of denies coming out for the Prophet as well with this extra damage. It's very, very rough. Let's have a look over towards Brighter Shores down the bottom lane.
Yeah. HellRaisers did get 3 bouncy runes though, so that's nice. And yeah, both LC and TA are still doing fine. The question is what happens when Fury gets level 6 and they start taking that top tower. Like, is TA gonna be able to keep farming, or is she forced like to help his team?
Yeah, it's an interesting point. We'll see that. Meanwhile, the turnaround onto the Doom here might come in, but Elmo, he's got to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage, as is Miposhka. They'll look towards Shashalo. They can't find a target. Miposhka, if one of these treants hits him, he is going to die, but luckily he does have the speed. So Miposhka will survive, but Shash just going to turn around and take that tower. Easily done. We'll see what Gambit can do with the space they now get from taking that tier 1 up at top, because it does open up a lot of the map for them. Meanwhile, the TA now up to 60 CS at the 7-minute 30 mark. This is very scary.
Yeah, oh, he's really farmed, actually. I like what Gambit's doing here with their Terrorblade, just going jungle. It's nothing like super fancy or new or anything, but it's just nice that giving your support 5 puck a lane like this, like, it means everything, right? Like, he's on his wall to level 6, and he's gonna get some nice items too.
Yeah, meanwhile Nyx tries to go for a extra stack on the Ancients, doesn't quite manage it, but we'll just farm them up now using these traps to slow them down, keeps up nice and safe, and bring down the rest of these Ancients. Not losing anything at mid either, as Sayo has come in to take the waves, so nice and efficient here from HellRaisers. But as you stated, with this Terrorblade going so quickly to the jungle, it almost feels that they saw this Legion lane, you know, Legion Venge, and they were like, alright, we don't really want to pick the heroes which can contest that, so we're just going to pick a TB. He can go to the jungle nice and early, and we don't really care too much about losing that bottom lane. Find somebody elsewhere on the map. So my big concern, I think the entire focal point of the next kind of 10 minutes of this game is what the Templar Assassin is going to do with all of this money she's getting right now. And I keep nearly calling her Nyx Assassin because Nyx is playing Templar Assassin. So apologies in advance if I do that.
Well, I mean, he's gonna buy his Desolator, and then he might farm for Blink before they make another play. They could also go into Roshan. To be honest, they're not, like, the game is even, and even though they lost top lane that hard, the net worths are looking pretty good for Dire.
Well, Pushka actually initiating onto Doom right now. Nyx coming over, trying to help out as well, but Shashlo and Doom are right here. Voka coming in around the back with a low ground tornado, going to hold back Nyx and defuse the fight.
What we did talk about during the draft is if you play against TA and you don't address her, and she gets this fast Desolator, she's a big problem. And like, they did not pick Huska or any lane counter, so she has gotten a completely free game. And
they picked something
realistically, like, they don't have an easy way to break refraction until like way later on. So I wouldn't put it past it for this Nyx TA to just go ham this game. We'll see.
As I said, the pressure is on. We're all looking towards Nyx right now. Meanwhile, we should probably be looking towards top lane, as they seem to be fighting for the bounty runes. The Evoker's come over and he's thrown the Venge up into the air, and my goodness, that Wrath of Nature did a lot of damage. And Miposhka also dropping pretty low here. Might just be forced to fall. Yep, with that, it wasn't even a Spirit Vessel. That was just a Urn of Shadows and some Treants. It's enough to bring down those squishy supports. Meanwhile, down to the bottom lane, they managed to get the kill onto the Legion Commander. Elmo getting himself out of here as well, but Shashlo trying to chase him down. Won't be able to do so, though, as yes, he gets himself to safety, but they can turn around and look towards the tower now. Kills across the map for Gambit currently. That was a little bit messy. Look at the damage coming out of these guys right now. Rather, they kind of got a huge amount.
They kind of got baited by the fact that there were outposts coming up, right? Like, they wanted to get them so badly, and then, but realistically, they can't. It's hard to fight unless you're. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if you can fight. How do you initiate? Like, you saw the Funeral just hits both supports and they almost die from full HP.
Yeah, that was insane.
It's like, I don't even know like how important our outposts. They're pretty important. Can you just give up both without dying? That would have probably been better, right? You ended up losing 3 heroes at tier 1 and both outposts.
Yeah, in retrospect, it definitely doesn't look like a good idea. Maybe you're all in for one of them rather than trying to go for both, but the fact they split the map right there doesn't end up in good results for the HellRaisers. They will be scratching their heads a little bit here, but still, you always have to look on the bright side, and the bright side is looking very bright right now, as Nyx has this Desolator coming over to him, immediately looking to make something happen down at bottom, maybe looking to splash to the tower. Meanwhile, the puck gets swapped into danger right now, and this is going to be a pretty easy kill for HellRaisers. They will grab FNG.
That's nice. They also have Deso coming on TA now, so this tower is gonna die for sure.
Yeah, it's taking heavy hits. Then
Actually,
just sitting in the
they're trying
trees
to
for the
defend
aura.
it, looks like. Nope, and when we cancelled,
Yeah.
they decided against it. Probably a wise decision. Looks like a very throwy defense there, potentially.
You could say that. Meanwhile, this is Maposhka in trouble. Wanted to see if he could get a ward down. Unfortunately, we'll just face the force at his feet and immediately dewarded as well. Look at the pings coming out there. Oh no, they catch the Ursa. He was going for the TP and the sound was made, but unfortunately, they are still going to be able to find him. However, a nice jump over the trees, going to maybe get him to a modicum of safety. Meanwhile, they get a big kill over in the jungle as the Terrorblades brought down. Elmo still giving them the happy feet right now, utilizing the Earthshock very nicely, but now they have the Doom, they have the Cold, they have the Urn, everything, the whole planet Earth, the whole kitchen sink thrown at the Ursa, and he's just going to get run down like the dog he is. Actually, he's a bear, not a dog. Not bad.
Check, I don't know what happened with TB, how exactly he got caught, but looks like HellRaisers smoke to go to Roshan. And they can definitely kill the max wave of terror on bench here.
Yep, the double melt. Oh my goodness.
Well. Yeah,
alright, I've said this a lot over the past week, but please, buff Roshan. This is murder. I don't have a good Rosh lineup, but come on. It's looking like a little puppy dog right now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, TA is gonna just farm like some camps in the jungle, and he has a blink dagger, and I don't know. I feel like the only way they really deal with TA is if they have Doom, and they're like all together able to hit him, and for that to happen, the TA kind of has to make a misplay. So I want to say that HellRaisers are looking pretty good right now. They just need to abuse their timing. It's coming very soon.
Yeah, you can say that all you like, because I'm pretty sure HellRaisers could be finding themselves a bit of an entry point into this game under the mix. I mean, Blink Dagger, Aegis, Deso, and what control do they really have on the side of Gambit for this TA when she enters the fight? Maybe now, you know, they can play around with a Puck ulti, they've got Tornado, etc, etc. Even a Doom when that's off cooldown, but when she gets BKB, and you don't Doom that TA, I feel like you've got real problems on the side of Gambit.
Yeah, I mean, their timing is not just right now with the Blink Dagger, right? Like you said, it's also, their timing with TA is so strong now because the Aegis is there. Like, if you didn't have Aegis, you could argue that maybe they could take her down once, right? But taking her down twice without your heroes dying is almost impossible. And she's gonna get this blink now, they're gonna run it. They should run at Gambit. Bottom lane, Pushka though, getting caught.
Yeah, he's out of there pretty quickly, and not in time for HellRaisers to respond. They're still coming in, looking for maybe a revenge kill here, but they don't really want to engage upon Gambit when they are 4 versus 5 on aggregate, so you know, chill out. HellRaisers, get back a little bit, hold this outpost area.
What he's trying to do on the CM. I feel like he should just wait for his team, get a smoke for TA, and then, you know, just go together.
Yeah, it's always tempting to try and get like a little bit of vision down just where your team wants to go, especially before these bounty runes spawn, but unfortunately it really wasn't the play there. But at least they get an outpost this time, they get themselves a couple of bounty runes as well. Maybe not the engagement they wanted, but definitely holding all. That's a pretty decent item actually, the Grove Bow on Terrorblade. The extra attack range inside his ultimate form. You can swap that in when you need it.
Yeah, so HellRaisers should definitely just go for mid tower right now. There's nothing stopping them, I feel. And after that, I think they should just run bottom, like run into the enemy jungle, try to catch people. Like, I don't feel like Gambit can fight at all right now.
It's definitely rough. I agree. So one thing we haven't seen utilized very much is, especially when you look at these items, for example, Clumsy Net, which don't give a huge amount of stats, but have very good actives. Do you think there's going to be a point where people can, well, will start microing their couriers to swap items around in the kind of mid-game? Because there's just so many slots now. We've seen that sort of thing in the late game quite often with BKBs and such, but with everybody having their own courier, is that ever going to be a thing, do you think?
Well, you do have an extra backpack slot, so I think it's probably pretty rare that you're going to end up with all your slots full of items that you need. So you also need to have a courier around you, but I do think that maybe late game there might be some courier action. I've already seen some curious warding and stuff.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen that often that the games get so late, but there is a potential for couriers like running around, flying around, hexing people and like
yeah.
Dagoning people and stuff. So
So,
yeah,
like they can use items at 15, and they have a mana pool at 25, is it, or do they unlock items at 25 as well? I can't quite remember.
I don't remember either actually. But like something to talk about just now is that they took a tier 2 and they all went back on their own side of the map instead of just staying aggressively with his tier 8s. Now they're the ones grouped up together on their own tier 1. They should be on their side of the map, but they allowed Gambit now to move out and start putting pressure on their tier 1. So now they're kind of on the back foot, even though they're the ones that's supposed to be aggressive, and they're the ones that's stronger both team fight, and they have this massive TA. So yeah, I don't feel like they really understand how strong they are, and
maybe allowing Gambit to hit their timings a little bit is not the play. Dream, he's got these stat efficient items like the Dragon Lance and the Yasha, hasn't been punished not going for an early BKB or a Manta or anything like that, which is really what you'd like to see on a Terrorblade, and he's just been given free reign of his jungle. Now they'll come in and try and find a kill though. Smoke up from 3 of the HellRaisers heroes as they look forward. Terrorblade doesn't go for this camp though. He's going to move back to the top side of the map, definitely cautious, and they weren't quite quick enough on the side of HellRaisers. You have to be quicker than this when you're using smokes right now because everybody's hyper aware when everyone's missing from the map. So
yep. I mean, if you look at the game state after they took tier 2 mid, they kind of didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened. They went back on the map and then they smoked back to the same location they just had control over after taking tier 2. So kind of slow play by HellRaisers, but they guess still managed to take tier 2 bottom here. Aegis is out, but the BKB is up. So they're still stronger. Mid lane Doom.
Not really showing it though.
Might get caught here.
Yeah, Tornado comes in to respond though, and once again Gambit just diffusing situations time and time again. Sayo's still searching though. Could get a swap on someone. Meanwhile, in goes the TA, getting doomed up immediately. Look at the damage coming out from Dream. Oh my goodness. Nixos gets taken out straight away, and they're just dropping like flies. Dream comes in and smashes absolutely everyone. HellRaisers just got their beans baked. Oh my goodness. Terrorblade. What a hero, hey?
Yeah, I mean that's one way to look at it. You feel good when all your heroes just casually blink right next to you, right? And you just have to A-click the ground and you get a triple kill.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty ideal circumstances here for Gambit as they suddenly find themselves in a dominant lead in this game. Poshka's like, please sir, stop hitting our tower. It's got to go in with the ultimate here. Poshka. Alright. Overrating the army, perhaps? The armor she gets from that ultimate, maybe?
Well-gotten gain.
Curious.
The seeds of fortune.
Well, that's a change in pace. Now an 8k gold advantage for Gambit, going up from 4k, which they had before that series of engagements. And HellRaisers, they're going to be left scratching their heads a little bit here. The BKB, that was supposed to be their timing, but unfortunately the Terrorblade is just too damn strong right now. And when you blink into a Doom, blink under a TB who's just ready to use Metamorphosis, you can only expect one thing to happen, and unfortunately that is certain death. That is indeed what did happen to that Templar Assassin, and then the rest of our team in kind, so...
I mean, it was like such an awkward way to start a fight as well, right? Like they should be able to take the fight, but I mean, Venge runs in, gets Tornado EMP'd, and then he continues to chase. And they used the LC's W on him as well. And when T blinks into the middle of them, there's like no backup on the TA at all. I don't know, that was just strange.
Yeah, I feel like the Venge swap is okay, but a blink forward from Templar is probably not. They break their ranks and they get picked off pretty easily. But no, Tier 2 tower being forced. You know, this is HellRaisers. They're mad about what just happened. They want to try and make the trades. Meanwhile, bottom tower falls as well. And looks like mid, yeah, also dropping. So no more other towers up for HellRaisers anymore. They've lost them all. Gonna make it very easy for Gambit to continue controlling this map. Again, they're just chill. I mean, they're happy. You know, they're 5 positions of puck. who is currently sitting with Essence Ring, Veil of Discord, Philosopher's Stone, Ocean Heart, going for an Aghanims, which he's only 1k gold off. You know, this is a really, really fun 5 position. Their 4 position, meanwhile, is rocking up with a Vlad's drums, nearly at Blink. Very nearly at Blink, actually, for Vampires. That's probably the timing they're waiting for next on Gambit. So they're very happy just to relax and let Gambit play, let the HellRaisers play their game, you know?
Top. They catch Fury.
Okay, alright, this should be a kill. Bringing down the Fury. Need a little bit more damage, but they will be able to find it. The rest of the heroes coming in, but they're a little bit too late to save Shashlo. So Shashlo, he's the highest net worth hero, or was at least until this moment, does end up getting brought down. And HellRaisers, they see an opportunity for Roshan again here. But soon they come. Tornado gets thrown across. Dodged out nicely. Roshan dropping so low here. Is there any chance for a steal? I don't think there is. Nyx will finish the job. Aegis goes into his hand, but they have permitted the call for this one. Dream coming forward. Nyx has to be careful. They do have the Doom available. Don't want to use it on an Aegis target, though. The right clicks come in. Chasing HellRaisers back up to the high ground. A beautiful cheese from Shashlo actually catching on Elmo, but he's able to jump over it. GPK, though, up onto the high ground. Forces his way up there. And finding a tornado onto Sayu. That brings him beautifully out of position here. And they'll be able to hammer down on that Vengeful Spirit. Meanwhile, the Doom does come out onto the Ursa. That's a better target. No Aegis on him. And the Ursa, this teddy bear, he's going to sleep tonight. Down goes Elmo as the Vampire finds another buyback even on Shashlo here as he's looking for more. And I think that was for the Roshan fight, right? Well, Legion gets lifted up. I don't think there's a commitment here, but look at this. They're just on the high ground, Gambit. They don't even care. They've got a couple more seconds left on Metamorphosis. They want to try and make some use of it. Buyback back on Elmo, though. That's going to put them in some danger. And a beautiful swap back into the duel. Do they have the damage, though? Yes, they do. Down goes Dream. Now they look for more. The next target, who's going to be? GPK. Clumsy Net comes out onto him. He's going to get the invis off. Do they have the vision? You bet. Now GPK is also going to be following their carry to the grave. A big turnaround here for HellRaisers, and the one they really need to capitalize upon. They still have this Aegis on the Templar Assassin. How much damage can they do to the Gambit structures? I really feel like you just want to be running down mid right now. Ignore the Prophet going for the rat plays. Try and find a buyback or some kind of win condition here.
For sure. He has Orchid on TA. I mean, can I draw on the map? You see this?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Okay, I mean, TA should just be playing here right now. Like, without... And like, they should not go back on the map to defend top, you know? Like, yes, there's some Trina's pushing the wave in, but they just need to go cut the top wave. And naturally, that wave gets pushed. They should continue to play there, like they should have done 10 minutes ago, too. After, with the first Aegis, they should have also played there. But let's see what ends up happening here. Like, everyone's alive and they're hitting tier 3.
Is that a lack of confidence or a lack of leadership, or...?
I think it's just maybe lack of knowing this. Consistently, like you might know it, but you don't do it consistently. Like, look now, right? They're running all back to their base, and they're all splitting up, and then they lose map control. And they have Aegis, and they don't have meta. Like, why are they not just standing in that ward they have in mid lane right now? You know, or standing here on this high ground, or cutting top wave or bottom wave. Now look, they're all 5 spread on the map. They're losing. Yeah, it's like...
FNG's mad. He just got his bounty rune stolen, but he's jumping forwards onto the Ursa, and GPK coming over as well. That's been some real trouble. Yeah, it's got the ultimate. The Tornado will miss as well, which isn't bad. They got the Doom in 1 second as well, so Elmo, they don't even need it. They're just going to go in with the right click and grab themselves a kill into the Ursa. And he dies trying to get himself a bounty rune. 70 seconds, no buyback on the Ursa, by the way.
Yeah. But this is all a result of them not understanding they need to just stay together in their vision, right? On their side of the map. Because when they split up like this, Gambit just runs after them and catches the guys who are split, in this case the Ursa, without buyback.
So let's just go back to like 5 minutes ago kind of thing, where, you know, before the big fights sort of started happening, we had this TA with the Blink Dagger, BKB, didn't have the Aegis at the time. Yet, Gambit did have the net worth advantage, but HellRaisers are still stronger, right? Why is that?
I mean, I don't know if they necessarily are stronger. If, like, it depends how the fight goes, right? But they should be pressing their advantage, and they are stronger if they get the right initiation. Top lane again. Now, like, everyone's kind of either getting caught on the side lanes or they're stuck in their base. But like 5 minutes ago when they took tier 2, I think it was a very crucial moment. I spoke about it briefly earlier as well, but they took tier 2 mid, and then they all started kind of moving back here to their own tier 1. And they were stuck here. 5 people with Aegis on TA and Desolator and Blink Dagger, no BKB. if they instead just stood here and took this high ground and started cutting both top and mid wave, they would eventually get Gambit to be stuck in their base, or at least catch people. But they would take an aggressive stance.
And immediately Gambit get themselves away to safety. Nothing will come of this one, I'm afraid.
You know, instead they end up getting stuck back at their base or back on their own side of the map, and the only way to get out of this place you are in on the map is to smoke out. But the smokes are always going to be obvious because your lanes are getting pushed in. So yeah, for me it's more fundamental than it is about draft this game. It's much more about play. You could, if you watch this game without knowing these things, you could say, oh, TerraBlade is so good versus TA and Ursa and stuff like that. But realistically, this was a very open and very even game. And it's more decided on play than anything.
Titan Sliver on TerraBlade. That's a pretty disgusting drop. Even since it was nerfed, it's still insane on these high agi heroes, and TerraBlade is definitely that. They do bring down En-VODs though, looking for a +1 perhaps here. If Sai can get the swap, it could definitely be an opening here. Vampire might be the target. Clumsy Net comes out onto him a long way. That net goes. Meanwhile, Shashlo unloading into the Vengeful Spirit right now, but Vengeful Spirit, he'll be alright. Does have a swap if he wants to use it here to get some purge off. He's not going to do anything. Going to get run down inside those trees. Meanwhile, Dream, Vampire chasing forwards, but HellRaisers, they back themselves back. And they'll cut their losses right now. It's a 5 for a 5. A buyback on FNG though. They want to go right now. And he's TPing 4 for this one. But we might have gotten caught out here. Shashlo TP's on top of him. Miposhka, not much he can do. Not much anybody can do. I think this Legion Commander is just dead. Down it comes. Sunstrike gets a kill. And all of a sudden, high ground looking real possible for Gambit. They haven't even popped this up. Never mind. They pop the Metamorphosis, throw on the Alacrity, and get started on these tier 3 towers. Dream ready to go, ready to take some buildings. Nick's trying to do as best he can with 2 heroes dead. They're going to buy back on the Legion Commander, making it only 1 hero dead, but your towers already formed. The racks are under attack here as well. You need to find a way to deal with this one. Legion Commander can't come in. She does a lot of damage to those illusions. Trying to get the jewel, but doesn't quite manage it. Still gets the silence off, but the TerraBlade just turning around and fighting, and look at the damage coming out. Oh goodness, TA! The Legion Commander as well. They just disappeared, vaporized on the map by the damage of this Alacrity Dream hero. It is just destroying them, and the base is being taken right now. Miposhka dares come close. Good night, sir. You get destroyed by the icy beams of this TerraBlade Scatty.
It's like a moving turret. This TerraBlade now. There's nothing you can do anymore. So
nope.
That's it.
The game is over. HellRaisers, they let it slip from their fingers. Nick's trying to make a last gasp effort, but the GG was already thrown out. The Ancient explodes, and Gambit takes game number 2 almost as convincingly as game.